different from the first one. So just as a reminder to everyone, it's a double round of resistance here. You play 5 opponents, but with both colors.
What
Today
on
in round
earth did
6,
you do?
everyone who faced each other on day 1 are facing each other with colors reversed. But on day 1 we had 6 draws in classical chess. Only Armageddon was the decisive factor. I don't think it's going to be the same today, David.
Yeah, it's unlikely, just judging by the last few days. It feels like the players have woken up and chosen chaos. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that continues, Danny.
Well, Anna did a great job of reminding you of the format. I also agree. I don't think Magnus is going to go for a quick draw with White against Ding Ren like Ding Ren did against him in round 1. But okay, before we dive into previewing all that is in store, let's give you an even more detailed breakdown of the amazing and innovative format that is
Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women will both feature a 6-player double round robin, 10 rounds. Time control, 120 minutes with a 10-second increment starting from round 41. No draw offense will be allowed until after Black's 30th move. All drawn games in the classical time control will be immediately followed by an Armageddon game with the same colors. White will receive 10 minutes on the clock, while Black will begin with 7 minutes. A 1-second increment will begin from move 41 for both players. In the event of a draw, Black wins. Players receive 3 points for a win in the classical game and 0 points for a loss. In the event of an Armageddon game,
okay?
will receive 1 points. The loser will receive 1. For the first time in the classical super tournament, the prize fund, the open and women's sections will be identical. If 2 players tie for first place at the end of the round, a 2-game blitz playoff will decide the winner. If 3 or more players are tied for first, those players will double round of additional 2 players. The winners will be crowned this year's Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women's champions.
a double round robin. It is, again, that's one of the main talking points of today because we're switching colors and rematch time. 120 minutes per side with the 10 seconds added per move after move 40, as you know. And again, if the game is drawn, that is the tiebreaker that you throw down with. Everyone wants that classical win. Getting to Armageddon also special and valuable or lose. So much to get into here today. Players are getting into the building. They're grabbing coffee. They're practicing on the giant chess set over there. We're going to start watching the openings. They're playing in the giant chess set to see if they're actually then we'll be aware that they're bringing their prep into the building. But all right, we've got so much to talk about here. I know we all want to dive in and just start previewing the matches ahead. So let's quickly say what the results were on round 5. And just in case anyone tuning in today is missed round 5, this is what went down. Magnus Carlsen got it done against Ali Reza Firouzja, and boy, was that dramatic. A draw up until the final few moves. Ali Reza Firouzja blundered in time pressure. Magnus squeezes water out of a stone yet again. Hikaru Nakamura was dominant. It was a one-way affair. The story continued. Praggnanandhaa Rameshbabu beat Fabiano Caruana in an instructive night endgame, and tough for Fabiano. That was his second loss in a row. Vaishali Rameshbabu has now played 10 straight classical games without a loss. She also won an Armageddon. Zhu Wenjun will try to change that today, as we already said, but she got the job done, winning her fifth Armageddon match over Humpy Canero.
I got
Anna
it.
Muzichuk got her second classical victory in a row. So much going on. Big shout out to where we sit in the standings after that round. The Hikaru Nakamura train will not be stopped. Or will it? We'll find out. Fabiano getting the black pieces, see what he can do today. Magnus Carlsen just behind him, and Praggnanandhaa Rameshbabu. A bit of a 3-horse race there, but Ali Reza Firouzja not far behind, especially if you got a classical win. What chance did you give Ali Reza today, knowing that he's listening over there?
Yeah, Ali Reza is literally about 5-10 meters away from us right now, hanging out, chilling out with his second even Cheferinov. I mean, he seemed in good form throughout the tournament. Yes, it was a bit of a setback yesterday against Magnus Carlsen, but then again, anyone could lose that type of endgame against Magnus. It's hard being ground down. You just have to that's the name of the game. He's already got a classical win under his belt, Anna, and yeah, it's still early enough in the tournament for anything to happen.
I think so too. I think Ali Reza has been one of the players in the Open tournament that has been doing really well in classical chess. Some of the points he lost was in Armageddon, except for yesterday's game. That was this really grueling endgame against Magnus Carlsen. But I'm with you, David. I think he will bounce back. And I think Fabiano also has played better chess than what is standing. So it is 2 consecutive losses for the world number 2, who is no longer actually world number 2. It's now Hikaru world number 2. He has taken over Fabi's spot, and Fabi has had this spot for a long time. He will won that spot back. So it's a danger.
And she scoots away. Oh, terrible idea.
So, wow, so much going on. Let's also now switch over to Norway chess women and remind you what's going on there. We mentioned it at the top of the show. Has been embraced. I think it should be, because she has been destroying the field and just continuing to clear first also with a score of 10. You big dummy! Anna Muzichuk, same score as Magnus Carlsen with 9. Ju and Ju right there with 7. Anyone else, of course, can jump their way back into the standing. But as we see them before you, I think it's time for us to officially get our preview on with Madame Bon Jovi. She's no longer living on a prayer. She's living on the pairings, and she's going to bring it to us right now with her own preview. Jovi, take it away and tell us what's happening.
Thank you, guys. Yesterday was dramatic. 4 classical wins. But the players are going round the horn once more, which means that we're going to see a repeat of Magnus against Ding. Now, their first encounter had to be decided by Armageddon. But since then, Magnus has regained his legendary form, whereas Ding is still struggling. Meanwhile, Ali Reza will cross swords against young Pragnanda. Now, Pragnanda has been exceptional with the white pieces, and as you tell me, things have been a bit shaky with black. Meanwhile, things have been even more turbulent for Ali Reza as he struggles with that 17th piece, the clock. And we are back to an all-American encounter between Hikaru Nakamura and Fabiano Caruana. Now, Hikaru is in tremendous shape, having won his last 2 classical games, whereas Fabiano has done the reverse. And if Fabi wants to win, he needs to start doing so now. Moving on to Norway chess women, it's going to be a titanic battle between tournament leader Vaishali and Armageddon queen Ju Wenjun. Now, both of these players have been in exceptional form in classical, but as Ju confessed to me, she is desperately looking for a win in classical to take those much-needed points. And it's been a tale of 2 tournaments between Leighton J and Anna Muzichuk. Anna, you have 2 wins behind her with the wind in her sails, whereas Leighton J has lost her last 3 Armageddons. And finally, we have a big battle occurring between tailenders Happy Canary and Pure Clammy. Both of these players are struggling to make their mark, so a much-needed classical win is going to take them right up the standings. Back to you guys in the studio.
Great stuff, Jovi. So many things to unpack there. That's a good breakdown of each matchup. I want to go back to the beginning and review them all again and analyze her thoughts. But right now we've got a live shot into the playing hall. We've got Dingley Ren, hopefully feeling rested and ready today. You all want that for him. Speaking for all the fans, I'm saying you all want that. Everyone wants that. But okay, if we want to bring up the...
She should know over the 20 years I've worn these all my life. I'm not going to walk...
The quick list that Jovi just gave us. Not sure if we can do that. We'll just talk. Okay, look at that. We can. It's magical. All we have to do is ask, and we shall receive. So, I want to go right to what she said about Ju and June. Ju and June has won 5 straight matches, everyone, but all in classical. Her thoughts, Ju and June gave her thoughts openly that she knows she has to get a win in the longer portion to make her move here at some point.
Yes, she won all of her matches in Armageddon, so she's really looking for that classical game win. Maybe today, is it today the day she's got the black pieces against the tournament leader, Vaishali, the Destroyer, as you named her. And Vaishali, coming from the tournament in Toronto, the candidates, where she won her last 5 games. And here too, she's cruising. She is on such an incredible streak, best in her chess career. Who will stop her? Will it be the reigning women's world champion? That is the main question.
it is the biggest question. Will she ever lose in Classical again? Obviously joking and knocking on wood. No reason to jinx anybody, but going over to this matchup, the battle of the top two Americans and number 2 and number 3 in the world. Talk about a rivalry of the for a couple of decades now. Your thoughts, if you're in the Fabiano camp, on the right mindset coming in to really avoid tilt here, right? You've lost 2 in a row, David. You don't want it to be 3.
Yeah, there's many strategies when you're trying to avoid tilt, but usually you're not black against one of the most informed players in the world, Hikaru Nakamura. I think Fabi has to not focus too much on the opening. Hikaru has mentioned in the past that because Fabi is trying to play specific lines, Hikaru is able to dart around, dodge any prep, and kind of psychologically get under Fabi's skin very early in the game. So Fabiano has to maybe just be a bit pragmatic here and not take too many risks. Would be a great result at this point to stem the bleeding. So yeah, we'll see whether Hikaru can continue his great head-to-head form there.
And we shall also see whether Ding Liren can find his form. Unfortunately, the most heartbreaking storyline of Norvegians and also every single previous event of Ding Liren ever seen. He's got the black pieces today against Magnus Carlsen, and while their round 1 game against each other was very peaceful, they made a draw on move 14, and the match again was Armageddon. I think Magnus is going into this game thinking very differently. 5 rounds have passed and 5 rounds show who is in form. Unfortunately for Ding, it's 3 consecutive losses in classical chess, and he will need to stop the bleeding.
It's interesting, just today's clashes, it has very informed players against, at least on paper, out-of-form players, like you mentioned, Magnus, starting to pick up speed, starting to move through the gears here. Ding, though, he's such a classy player. He lost once in classical to Magnus, so he should take heart from that. I don't think that's going to be one-way traffic, as many might predict.
I agree, and he's got to take heart and step up. He can dial in on his
Come on, you can do this.
Against Magnus, which has been and get a good hold here. I think
Put
Magnus
it in the trash.
He's on form. Everyone knows Ding Liren struggled. But I don't think Magnus will be careless here. He'll make sure that he only takes the opportunities given to him. But I agree, and we're definitely not going to see a quick draw like we did in round 1. So, all right, well, it looks like all the games are underway. As we've said before, this is a repeat of round 1. Colors reversed. We are now in round 6 on the back half of this amazing double round robin. We do have Knight F3 on the board by Alireza Firouzja, but not exactly a ready there with Carlsen. So just to shout out the inside the room conversation. Alireza over here and played a practice game with his second, or done something that we thought maybe was prep, like every day. And so today we paid special attention to the opening to see if he actually was prepared for prep. I don't think he actually is.
No, in that game over there on the giant chessboard, meters away from us. And no, Firouzja instead opening with his queen pawn, and just have accepted
Oh, I missed it!
over there. Anna, which games kept you right at this early stage?
I was looking at the Prague's b5 move, defending the pawn, and I'm also looking at late things here against Anna Muzichuk. That is, Anna not making a move. I hope she's at the board. I hope she's not playing pawn. Maybe she's just choosing how to react in case she expected 1d4, which is late things as usual first move, and she's trying to consider. Yeah, she's sitting there. Everything is good. She has won her last behind by Shelly, so I'm sure that she's coming to this game very ambitious, but she will be considering here why late things starts with 1c4 instead of 1d4. Is she gonna try to transpose into any queen pawn openings, or is she not pushing her pawn to d4 at all? What is her approach? There was a kind of like the minor details that end up being a big factor sometimes in chess. The move order, the slight change in terms of the opening variation that you normally play.
The big opening nerd in me wants to dive in and show all these different move order tricks, but you never know. Maybe Anna Muzichuk. Oh, there we go. I was going to say maybe she's doing a visit. just meditating the first few minutes, getting in the zone, but ultimately the symmetrical English. Bit of copycat chess at this early stage.
But Lei Ting-Jie doing the opposite. He took a few minutes to play with.
Hey, you ain't gonna do any work, man. Are you alright?
This one, as Anna continues copying, when in doubt. I remember when I was how I first started learning openings.
No!
They play e4, I play e5. They play d4, d5. d5, anything.
Copycat.
Oh my. Exactly. But then with white, I just felt like all the time. Okay, maybe we leave this one for now.
Back to the bird's eye view and let's I like the variety, not just the color set, but an interesting ready over there between Carlsen and Dingli Ren. Like you said, not your everyday Queen's Gambit, an aggressive approach from Prague with b5. That's going to get us dynamic. And the Nimzo, kind of Nimzo, and then a Nimzo right below it as well between Nakamura and Pia Cromling. I'm biased to both of those games. I mean, playing that opening in my repertoire as if my repertoire has any relevance on this show, but it is fun when you see your opening being played.
We're all chess fans in here.
We're all just chess fans in here.
Danny, let's jump in. Let's maybe start with Nakamura against Caruana, the All-American Clash, the Nimzo.
I'm into it. Kind of, along with Magnus Carlsen. Let's back through the opening.
Let's move 7 now, but if we go from the start, it is a Queen's Pawn opening. The Nimzo Indian for those is characterized by this move, bishop to b4, pinning the white knight on c3, often trying to shatter the white pawn structure by putting bishop to knight on the square. White says, okay, b3, I'm going to develop. White knight protects its counterpart here, or its fellow knight, sorry. A6, and this is a really old line. It used to be really trendy back in the 80s, 90s, I believe, and I haven't seen it for a long time. It takes knight voluntarily, meaning you wait for that bishop to come back before making this decision. Current position, Fabiano trying to put pressure on one of the double pawns, and of course, if white takes, there's a bit of an issue after bishop takes f1. You with the king or rook and lose castle right, and you worsen the knight.
It's an interesting anti-Nimzo decision. Again, often when you play these structures just to back up, white normally has to keep those double pawns, playing c5, trying to prison them right where they stand. And again, not that this was going to happen, but if c5 moves, knight c6, knight a5, c8, black is doing everything they can to barrel up against the weaknesses. But this move here will take by d5 for white, and that causes dysfunction to black's development on the queen side, and this makes it easy for white to go for precisely because of this knight being able to free. This is the whole idea of the knight line is to accelerate things like e4. Once that happens, white starts for bishop is coming out. Yeah, the f4 bishop is on the diagonal, so it's something on white. So that's part of the reason black goes with an anti-Nimzo in the end. The Nimzo player in me hurts when I see e5. You just gave up the bishop pair voluntarily to double the pawn, and now you're undoubling them. Make no mistake, that is a small advantage you will have for the rest of the game in these positions, but you're doing so to stop the purpose of the knight on g3, control the e4 square, and then, like you said, highlight the tension on the diagonal. Sorry, just went full Nimzo Indian player there.
I just want to mention as well, it's early enough that we still see percentages at the side of the board in place of an eval bar. See that white is in position 34%, so actually a very high scoring opening for black here, Anna. Interesting, maybe Fabi's looked at those stats. His line.
It feels like it's a great choice for today. It's one of those first and very rare moments where it feels like maybe Hikaru was surprised for once. He has been so good at choosing his openings, predicting what his opponents were going to do. And maybe today, for the first time or one of the few times, it is his opponent who at least got a slight surprise in. Obviously, it doesn't mean that Hikaru doesn't know this opening. He knows it very well. But perhaps it's not what he expected for today.
I think it's a fantastic point, and anyone who missed Hikaru Nakamura in the studio with us yesterday, one of the talking points we had was that overall Hikaru does seem to his opponent's openings well. He's been doing it for a while. The candidates, he did it well. He scored 1.5 out of 2 against Fabiano Caruana. At the start of this event, we felt he did it well both in the first classical game they had and then in Armageddon. We applauded Hikaru's choice. Maybe this is the first changing of the guard a little bit. Fabiano choosing something that Hikaru didn't see coming. So I agree, Anna. That's bad news for those who want to see Hikaru in the confessional.
Oh my god.
That's the only problem, right? It means maybe he's a little harder opening than he has in the last few rounds.
Does it mean we're going to see Fabiano in the confession?
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Swap it.
We talked about seconds lingering nearby. We currently have Fabiano's second just meters away from us. And, looks in a pretty good mood, Anna.
Second to Avianca's second, so we are shouting at and stalking all these grandmasters a few meters away from
Not doing it
us.
on purpose, they're just lurking nearby. What can we do?
Yeah, that was great to see though, the atmosphere here, the seconds heading to each other. All sorts of, obviously there's lots of press, but also fans and other events running in Stavanger during Norway Chess, for instance, children's tournaments, and it was just so lovely to see when it was every single ceremonial move made by some of the participants of the children's tournament yesterday.
That was really nice to see. I saw this interview post-match with Magnus as well. Just the kids hugging Magnus from the side. It was
Super cute. Not gonna lie. But yeah, it really is great. It's a festival. The whole thing is even bigger than just what the fans can do, which is the biggest stars in the game, playing for some of the biggest stakes and awesome chess.
Speaking of that, sorry, Danny, I just could not mention that there's literally a kid a few meters away from us with a Carlsen t-shirt and a number 1 on his back.
Yeah, it's awesome, and today, because again, it is still a weekend, and extra fans on Saturday. Well, we're going to leave Hikaru to it. Maybe Fabiano is in the confessional booth right now, and so we might find out whether Fabiano is action everywhere else. It's funny because there was an opportunity almost for the game of Humpy Canero and Pia Crumling to transpose. Humpy Canero shows the Zamish variation with A3, forcing the trade on C3. If you just look at the structures similar there, we'll get to that game a little bit. Maybe our Nimzo players will play D4 with white here, although we'll talk about it more later. I could be convinced of anything right now.
While we're on topic, Danny, we were talking about the Nimzo Indian.
Carmi!
Maybe you talk about that Humpy.
Let go of it. I want to let go.
I didn't want to be so selfish. Purple Power. I love the Nimzo. We can go to it, and I can give a quick rundown. The main difference, I think I saw the move order earlier, and it was E3, just like it was with Hikaru, but I think Pia Crumling castled instead of B6. Yes, it was. And now A3 chosen instead of Knight GD2. Knight GD2 was a possibility here. It's a different line. But A3 really forces matters back into some of the most traditional, like when you think of the Nimzo, you think of, Geller Uwe, Zurich, 1953. You think of White's going to play E4, E5, and just launch everything at the king's side, completely losing the double pawns and being positionally busted, but hoping to get a big center in an attack, right? And Black's going to play C5 and D6, and the line I already kind of talked about.
Someone's gonna
kill it in the game with Hikaru and Caruana. And that's kind of what happened here. And we're getting a position, by the way, that is much more classic Nimzo-esque in this one.
Yeah, definitely. And rook to B1, the first move to make here Crumling thing. Again, we see the just until this last move, actually, we
Rook
did
B1
see
is a new,
Yeah, it's just on the base space here that I'm looking at on chess.com.
Yep. Yeah, and we can highlight real quick. We'll put the rook back on A1 and just say the main line again, or the type of positions you get. Plays 92. Again, you want to keep the F pawn flexible, and Black plays things like D6, and let's say White castles, and Black plays Bishop A6. And then you can get really crazy stuff if you go all in, like E4 for White, threatening Bishop G5. Black pretty much has to play moves like 98 to get the bishop, to get the pin. of the bishop removed, then you get things like f4 right away for white. You can also get e5 first, but this position becomes an all-out race. Things like knight a5 and then f5 for black. You'll notice the theory is still theory here against until that move, and then even f5 already can be a very wild position. So anyway, this is a very traditional Nimzo Indian kind of game.
Yeah, white playing on the inside, trying to play on the Anna, we see here thinking it's been a couple of days for her. What do you think is going through her mind right now?
I think she's evaluating, assessing how this Rook b1 compares to some of the main lines that we're discussing. As you mentioned, David, there's very few games where this move it's almost a novelty. And I think she knows the Nimzo Indian very well. She knows this opening inside out from both the sides of the opening.
You're the same.
A very experienced legendary player, and she will be possibly assessing how this move order or how this particular move changes the usual plans, the usual setup, the usual ideas for the Nimzo Indian now from Black's perspective. But as mentioned, she also plays these openings from White's side, so I think she knows very well what's going on, but she's trying to figure out how this compares to the usual.
And I think I figured out the idea behind Rook b1.
I'm glad, because I was just going to say, as the Nimzo player, I'm kind of like, what is the difference? Because b6 is the most natural looking move, and black is going for the plans I highlighted. So teach